Today, we're going to be letting the wheel decide who makes it into the 12-team playoff. So I decided the first thing we're going to do is select teams 12 through 5. And then after that, we'll select teams 1 through 4, which will get the first round bye. Rules of the video are going to be pretty simple. I'm going to spin the wheel until we've got our 12 teams that will be competing for a national championship. Without further ado, let's see who gets the 12th seed. Oh, either way is going to be a good one. Ole Miss. But as we go along, I'm going to be filling these teams into the bracket. So hopefully by the end, it's like some really good matchups. I'm hoping it's not one-sided. All right, let's see who the 11th seed will be. Ooh, I thought it was about to land on Kennesaw State for a second. I would have been worried. But Nebraska, not bad. The 10th seed. So far, we've gotten two pretty good teams. Hoping that trend keeps up. Houston, I don't think they're horrible, but I don't think they're one of the better teams for sure. Now we are down to the 9th seed, and it will be Mizzou. Nope. Miami of Ohio. I think they actually did pretty good this season. Now for the 8th seed. Come on, give me something good. Wait. Oh, I thought it landed on Michigan. Dang, NC State. I think they just won their bowl game, so that's something, I guess. Now for the 7th seed. Utah. I don't think Utah is I don't think that's a horrible draw. This is for the 6th seed. So basically who will be playing Nebraska. Hopefully it's a good matchup in the first round. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Arkansas. That may be a really good game. And this is for the 5th seed. So who will be playing Ole Miss? Watch it be Alabama or something. Well, I tried to speak it into existence and that didn't work. It's Western Michigan. Now that we've gotten those out the way, we'll now start spinning for the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st seed. So they'll basically get the first round bye. I'm just hoping it's not some scrubs or something. That would be tragic, not gonna lie. No way. Oh no. Kent State, I believe they were actually one of the worst teams. They may have actually been the worst team this season. But here they are at the 4th seed. Who will get the 3rd seed? Automatic bye will go to Central Michigan. It might be blowouts all over the place. And again, you don't know how their sim's going to go. For the 2nd seed, I feel like the wheel is playing me right now. Georgia State. I mean, maybe this will be like a championship of the bottom feeders or something. And for the 1 seed, the final playoff spot, which team will get a bye? It is going to be TCU. It was so close to landing on SMU. How ironic would that have been? But TCU gets the final playoff spot. Now the playoff bracket is set. This is the bracket. And looking at it, to be honest, I don't know who's going to come out on top. But if I had to pick, I'd probably guess Nebraska. That's my pick to win the entire thing. Let me know who you guys got in the comments. So for the first game, it is going to be Western Michigan versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss should definitely win this game, but and then again, you never know. But we are in the 4th quarter, and it is a close game, and they are tied at 7. As he gets the first down, dude, this is insane. No one would have expected Western Michigan to actually be up or tied with Ole Miss. If they can get in field goal range, this game could pretty much be over. He just threw a pick. Oh my goodness. This guy's... Well, there goes their season. Western Michigan might have just threw their chances out the window. Now Ole Miss needs a field goal and they can win the game. Ole Miss really doesn't have to be in a hurry. They can take their time depending on what they do here. He dumps it down. First down. Yeah, they're definitely in field goal range. They got Western Michigan taking timeouts. Yeah, that pick sealed the deal, man. I'm still surprised it was this close. So they held their own against this top team. But maybe Ole Miss just isn't as good as people thought. He's going to get stuffed. I don't know, man. I think this game's over, to be honest with you. I don't think that Western Michigan has a chance now. I think any chance they did have went out the window when he threw that interception. If anything, they get lucky with a fumble or something. But other than that, man, I don't think so. Yep, and they're just going to milk the clock down. So they're just going to take their 3. Hoping at getting a walk-off field goal. And it is, yeah, game's over. All that just for you guys to lose by a field goal is crazy. And with that, Ole Miss is going to move ahead. I mean, Western Michigan had it, man. They just sold at the end. All they needed to do was get a first down, milk away some more clock, kick the field goal, go home. But now it's Ole Miss versus Kent State. in the next round. For the next matchup is going to be North Carolina State versus Miami University of Ohio. And on paper, it looked like they're pretty decently evenly matched, kind of, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Late in the fourth quarter, Miami University has a 14-point lead over them. So I don't know. I thought on paper that North Carolina State was actually better than them, but I guess not. I don't think they have enough time to come back and score 2 touchdowns. I just don't see it happening. He dropped it. Trash. They need to really push the ball down the field. They can't afford to just sit here and keep dilly-dallying. That'll help. That'll help. Huge play. Getting across the 50. Drops back. A little bit of pressure, and it's batted down. Yeah, this game's over. There's not enough time for this team to even think about making a comeback. This is their last chance, and he actually got it. He stumbled into the end zone. Okay, that's 1 touchdown. Now they need another one. Now their last hope is this onside kick. If they don't get this, it's GG's. And they don't get it. GG's. So Miami moves on to the next round and will face TCU. Here is the updated bracket. We have Ole Miss so far and Kent State matched up in the quarterfinals, and Miami, Ohio, and TCU matched up. Nebraska versus Arkansas, they're the same overall, so hopefully this turns out to be a good game. So far, it hasn't been. Some of these games have been closer than I thought, but for the most part, it's going as I expected it to. Heading into the fourth quarter with 1 minute left, Nebraska's just milking the clock at this point. Wasn't really a close game, similar to last game, up 14. Yeah, this game's over. Arkansas just couldn't score any points. It doesn't even look like they've been able to run the ball well either. Nebraska's been, I don't know how they got 17 points, but that's crazy. I mean, it'd take a miracle for Arkansas to win this game. Last time they got a quick touchdown, so I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Oh, never mind. Not when they're hitting like that. I think the rest of this bracket is going to be very interesting. I haven't really seen many upsets yet. So, oh my, are you kidding me? He just is streaking down the field. That's almost identical to what happened last time. That's the sim for you. I guess the CPU will score when they need to. It's crazy. It's almost an identical situation. He almost had that though. The game is not over yet. There's still a chance for Arkansas. All they need to do is get the onside kick. You have a ball game. Oh, I thought for sure he almost. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? I've never seen one of those return. He almost got that. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're going to take the knee and get out of here with the W. Just like that, Nebraska moves on and will face Central Michigan in the quarterfinals. And for the last matchup of the first round, we got Houston versus Utah. Utah is on paper the way better team by almost 8 overall. So I'm not expecting this one to be close, but then again, I've been surprised all day today. So we shall see. With almost 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they find themselves down 10 points and another interception. Oh my Lord. Houston's done. It wasn't kind of how I expected it to. I knew Utah was a better team. With that pick, they may have just sent their team to the next round. All they have to do is get a first down. I say 1 first down is all they'll take, and the game's over. Got Houston using their timeouts. I don't think we'll be seeing any heroics like we have been the past few matchups. Can't get anywhere. Got stuff. If you guys don't get it first, you might leave the door open for them. I've seen crazy stuff happen in these sims. They decided to run a QB. Oh, and that's the first down. And the game's over. So with that win, Utah will be moving on to the next round. And they will play Georgia State. Looking at the matchups in the quarterfinals, it's not horrible. No, it could be interesting still. I still think that Nebraska's going to win it all, but there's possibly some sleepers on here for sure. Either them or Ole Miss, I think. For the first game in the quarterfinals, we got Kent State versus Ole Miss. Kent State's at home, but I do not think that's going to help that much, to be honest with you. They're almost 20 overalls above them at this point. It's basically what it is. I don't see how they have a shot in this game. You guys will not believe this. Going into the fourth quarter, Kent State actually has the lead and the ball, though he just went down for a sack. But this is still insane. With 2 minutes left, Ole Miss needs a touchdown to beat Kent State. This may be the biggest upset that I've ever seen in Sim. They're actually going to attempt a field goal. Oh, they do have a kicker. Now they're up a touchdown. Ole Miss needs to have the drive of the century to pull off a comeback against Kent State. I never thought I'd be saying that, but getting that first down will help. No way. He went down for a sack. You cannot take a sack right there. That is a huge sack. Ole Miss is in hurry up mode. They have to hurry. If they don't win this game, that could flip this whole bracket on its head, because then there's no telling who's going to win. Jackson Dart only passed for 91 yards. Dude, they have struggled against Kent State of all teams, and they need the first, and he got it. They're getting closer and closer to to the 50-yard line, and they could possibly soon be in Kent State territory. Over the middle, wide open. Might be one of those overtime games. They're moving the ball at will and with ease. Wide open, gets out of bounds. And they don't even have to rush. They have plenty of time to win this game. Wide open. First down. Continue to move the ball. Clock this under a minute. Need to hurry. The clock's continuing to run. They choose to spike it. Again, Ole Miss only has one timeout. And they get a stop here or a sack or something. That would be huge. He has plenty of time in the pot. He has all day. And that's a touchdown. Oh my goodness. What a dot. Jackson Dart just delivered an absolute dart. Well, this game could be going to overtime. Still possible for Kent State to drive down the field or possibly make a mistake, like throw an interception, like earlier in the video, and he dropped it. 2nd and 10 with almost 30 seconds left in the game. I don't think Kent State wants this game going to overtime because I think Ole Miss will definitely win if it does, and that is getting blown up. I don't even know why he attempted that. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm definitely calling that last time out. They're going to let the game go to overtime. Uh-oh. I don't know. Does Kent State have it in them, though? Kent State has the ball first in overtime. I'd say they need a touchdown here. I don't think they can settle for field goals. And he just falls down to the ground. He had plenty of room. I don't know why he didn't rack that. He might have tripped on something. You never know. 2nd and 9. Dude, they have not been able to move the ball. Really, neither team really has all day. I thought that was picked off. I'm not going to lie. Cool, 3rd and 4. Do not want to settle for a field goal if you're Kent State. I would say you need a touchdown. And they get the first down. And it's going to be 1st and goal. I'm actually pulling for Kent State at this point. 1st and goal at the 7. They get a touchdown here. I'm not saying they're going to stop Ole Miss, but dang. He just got stopped. I'll say running up the middle shouldn't be one of their play calls. Not going to lie. Their defense is really too good. But then again, I could stand corrected. Down to the 5. If you're Kent State, I say you have to take a shot to the end zone here. I look at the top of the screen. Take a shot to my best receiver. I thought he was open for a second. Throws, and no one's over there. Looks like they're going to have to settle for a field goal, which may just cost them this game. Now it's Ole Miss's turn. And I think that field goal, I just really don't believe that Kent State's defense is going to get a stop. And just like that, it's 1st and 10. Jackson Dart is at the 166 yards. I don't think that Kent State has the athletes to keep up. The only way they win this game is if they get an interception or a turnover or something. Jackson Dart activated his clutch gene. Looks like Ole Miss is going to be able to pull this one off unless something bad happens. And just like that, 1st and goal at the 2. He's gonna keep it. He is dropped in the backfield. I'm surprised Ole Miss doesn't just run it up the middle. I know they have the better O-line and all that. I don't know what they're doing. Just like that. Oh dang. It got stopped. 3rd and goal. A gain of 1. Jackson Dart at the 4. 3rd and goal. They decide to pass it. It's dropped. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like we're going to go to a double overtime. Ole Miss and Kent State. Who would have thought? Ole Miss hands it off and he fumbled the ball. They got it back. Oh my goodness. That was a turnover that they needed on the last possession. So they decided to say it wasn't a fumble. So they overturned it. But the fact that Kent State is even hanging in there is impressive. He is wide open and fighting for the 1st down. Holding them to a field goal here would be huge. But they give up a lot of room in the run game. And it's down to the 4. They're giving up more and more ground every time. And I believe Ole Miss is just too talented for them. 2nd and 2 at the 4 in this double overtime. This has been a good game for two teams that it was. The fact that Kent State's hanging in there is admirable. Looks like their luck is about to run out. 1st and goal at the 2. Oh, they decided to do a QB. I don't know. It's like Ole Miss play calling gets worse as they get closer and closer to the goal line. They've been gashing and running right out the middle. Keep the game interesting, Ole Miss. Keep the game interesting. They decide to pass. He is open for the touchdown. Just like that. If you're Kent State, you did not want to see that. Of course, in this overtime, Ole Miss has to go for 2. So let's see. If they don't get this, it might be, nope, they got it. Kent State now has to put up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. If they do this, it'll be a miracle. But they have to be able to move the ball. 1st and 10 at the 25. He throws it deep and it's dropped. Dang, I thought they were about to take the top off and do something amazing. 2nd and 10 at the 25. They just have not been able to move the ball since the 4th quarter, really. Last time they got points. But that was a huge throw. 1st and 10 at the 11. Getting closer. Gonna throw. Wide open. 2nd and 1 at the 2. Kent State is trying to fight Ole Miss at this point. Hang in there, get a touchdown, and get a 2-point conversion to send this to a 3rd overtime. They have not had success running up the middle, but they are going to get a touchdown. Oh my goodness. He just rolled into the end zone. What a play. Running up the middle has not worked for them all day. and they choose to do it there and just rolls into the end zone. So it's all going to come down to this 2-point conversion. If they don't get this, it is game over. They're going to do a jet touch pass, and they are not going to get it. Oh my goodness. That was a really good game. That was way better than I thought it was going to be. I never expected them to take them to almost 3 overtime. Kent State had a pretty good game. I mean, they didn't really do much running the ball, but that's just because Ole Miss's D-line was really that good. And Jackson Dart really turned it on at the end. I think in the fourth quarter, he only had 90 yards passing. He was able to double that between this and the second overtime. Now we have a matchup between the 1 seed TCU and the 9 seed Miami University. TCU isn't even as good as I thought they were. I thought they were way higher. This might actually be a close game. Just under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Every game so far has been pretty interesting. There hasn't really been any major blowouts, I would say, or unexpected blowouts anyway. And TCU just threw an absolute dart to tie up the game. Every game has been really close. So far, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. Miami has a chance to drive down the field and win the game, but they have a ways to go. He's throwing it deep, and he's wide open. And just like that, they're at like 43, just like that. All it took was one play. For Miami, I'm taking my time. There's no point in rushing. Same thing, I'm milking the clock a little bit too. Wide open. Gets it to his tight end, out of bounds. 2nd and 5. I believe Miami was actually a pretty good team this season as well. So I shouldn't be surprised that they're actually fighting and driving right down the field. TCU is going to burn one of their timeouts. It may be in field goal range, so they may just start running the ball here. Yep, it's a run. That's all they have to do. Get in field goal range. If they win this game, they'll be going against Ole Miss in the semifinals. Another run. Bounces it to the outside and gets the first down. That may be the dagger for TCU. They fought back to get into the game, and it just was likely not enough. Miami's starting to burn the clock, milking the clock down. Going to run it again, and they are going to get stuffed. TCU really needs a fumble here. I don't think... oh, my goodness. And they get gashed in the run game again. I think that's ball game. They're likely going to line up for their 3 here. TCU trying to ice the kicker. This is to send Miami to the semifinals against Ole Miss. And it is good. Just like that, TCU fought back hard. But in the end, it didn't matter. Miami of Ohio is moving on to the next round. So now we have a set matchup, Ole Miss versus Miami of Ohio in the semifinals. Now we're going on to Nebraska and Central Michigan, and Utah and Georgia State. I've got Nebraska winning the entire thing, but then again, Ole Miss is looking pretty good, or even Utah. So I don't know. I don't think Central Michigan has much of a shot in this game, but we've seen some pretty close games already, so I can't rule it out. With about 2 minutes left, Central Michigan has a 10-point lead over Nebraska. This is insane. I would have never guessed that Central Michigan would be keeping up with Nebraska. I thought they were really outclassed and outmatched, but apparently not. Nebraska just let me down. Looks like my team that I picked to win is going to lose. Central Michigan is going to settle for their 3, and they're going to get it. So it's 16-3. They're not out of the game, but they need quite a bit. They scored 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. They can win the game, but I'm not seeing it happening. 1st and 10. Raiola needs to put on his best Pat Mahomes act. That's the only way they're going to win this game. Nebraska really needs to push the ball downfield. Otherwise, they're not going to win anything or even get any points on the board. They can't be getting stopped before the first down marker. It may be over. Can Raiola pull out the Pat Mahomes? First down, Nebraska. Okay. 1st and 10 at the 49. They keep dinking and dunking. Go deep. 50 seconds left. They're just playing around right now. Are they even trying to win? Dylan throws it. He almost throws a pick and someone's hurt. Come on, Dylan. Do something. Make this more interesting. I thought they were actually about to run it. They faked me out. Wide open at the 25. Where was this at earlier in the game when you guys actually really needed it? It's always at the end of the game. CPU really tries to step it up. Another dink and dunk. Inbounds, so they're forced to burn their last time out. Matt Rule so far hasn't been coaching a good game. He has to get rid of it. He throws it out of bounds. This will likely be one of their last chances to actually get into the end zone. Do not take a dink and dunk. Oh, they did just that. They have to hurry. This game's over. They're about to spike it and have about 10 seconds left on the clock. Shout out to Central Michigan, man. A bracket buster for sure. Was definitely not expecting them to win this game. Thinking with the wheel he just threw a touchdown pass while I was in the middle of my, touchdown Nebraska. I don't know why the game's over, man. They killed too much time off the clock. What's the scenario here? Get an onside kick, cover it up, and go for a Hail Mary? Nope. Central Michigan gets the ball, and it's game over. Central Michigan pulls off the upset. I don't think anybody was expecting that. That is insane. In the last matchup of the quarterfinals, we got Georgia State versus Utah. Again, on paper, Utah is a way better team, but I've learned my lesson. Georgia State may just pull it off. Here late in the fourth quarter, I was right to not write off Georgia State. They are up 21 points right now against Utah. I thought Utah's defense was going to be able to hold them like at least to 7, if that, because that's how scores have been, but 24 points in a blowout. So in the end, Georgia State ends up demolishing Utah, and that is insane. The sim in this series has been crazy. And with that, the semifinals are set. We have Ole Miss versus Miami of Ohio and Central Michigan versus Georgia State for the chance to win a national championship. I would have never expected this to happen. I'm not even going to make any more predictions, but I mean, Ole Miss, they should win, but we'll see. We'll see. With just under a minute left to play, I am shocked that the score is down 6, but never mind. He just threw an interception and the game is over. Crazy thing is, Ole Miss had a 17-point lead. Honestly, didn't think Miami was going to come back, but they fought back into the game, but that pick may have just sealed it for them. And they're going to take a knee, and this game is over. Ole Miss is headed to the national championship game. For the final game of the semifinals, we have Georgia State and Central Michigan. I'm glad that these two teams made it, because who would have thought that these teams would have made it over teams like Nebraska, Utah, Houston, Arkansas. I don't think anybody saw that coming. One of these teams are going to leave here today with a victory and will go against Ole Miss in the national championship game. And with about 30 seconds left in the game, Central Michigan needs a touchdown to win the game against Georgia State. He's going deep over the middle and he dropped it. It's been a back and forth game so far. Georgia State might just edge it out. Central Michigan really needs a miracle. 2nd and 10, play action, going deep. They got somebody. Oh my goodness. They just scored a touchdown. They just scored a touchdown in the last 30 seconds of the game, which may just put them in the championship game against Ole Miss. That is insane. Georgia State was in a horrible coverage and they just got beat over top. Central Michigan has a lead. They're going to go for 2 here to extend it to a field goal lead. Whoa, that is crazy. This sim has been crazy. Central Michigan now has a 3-point lead. Georgia State now has less than 20 seconds to put a field goal up. I think these matchups have been really good and a lot more close than a lot of people were expecting. At least more than I was expecting. Georgia State needs a miracle. 15 seconds. They throw it short. I don't know. I don't know about that play call. They have to go deep here. There's no way. If they throw it short again, this game's over, and they're gonna do just that. No, I don't think they have enough time. At the 35-yard line, they would have to get a lot, at least another 30 yards to even consider anything. He's gonna get sacked, fumble the ball, and the game is over. Central Michigan is going to be heading on to the national championship game. This may be something nobody saw coming. Ole Miss going against Central Michigan, the 3 seed in the national championship game. I'm blown away. I would have never thought Central Michigan would make it this far. Even if they get blown out by Ole Miss, I will be impressed that they even made it this far. And for all the marbles, all the chalupas, we have Central Michigan against Ole Miss in the championship game. I think this is going to be a massacre, but anything could happen. Ole Miss I think they kicked it in the gear in that last game against Miami. We shall see. So yeah, this game really wasn't even close. Final score would likely be 28-0 if they score here, which they do. 28-0 in the championship game. Central Michigan fought hard though, man. Game was really never close. They fought hard to get to this point. I'm still shocked that they even managed to do so. But in the end, they could not keep up with an SEC team. So just like that, Ole Miss is the national champion. I still think this was fun, despite the draws that we ended up getting. I was hoping that we got a little bit, more powerful or more balanced teams, but either way, it was still interesting. That is the end of the video, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. I also want to give a shout out to the YouTubers Bordeaux and Not the Expert. They're big inspirations of mine. Big reason why I decided to start a channel myself. You guys take care or something. I don't know. I got to get better with this stuff.